Hello, and welcome to our show, Midwest Weekly. Starring myself, I'm back from my disappearing act, Hairwiz, and as always, our good friend CLT does it by himself for the first time. Not very fun. How are you feeling today, brother?
Not very, more like not very good, but uh,
No, you did a great job. You did good.
nah, we we're doing all right, man. Got home from work and ready for a weekend.
Nice, nice. And then hidden in the shadows themselves, the man, the myth, the legend from Hidden Leaf. We have here today Gojo with us. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Feeling good, excited to be part of this show. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. Would you like to tell anybody a little about yourself or anything like that?
Yeah, I am the top laner for Hidden Leaf. You may know me by my previous name, Kyome. I was mid lane for Hidden Leaf. It's kind of my intro.
The Fiora player.
Yeah, the Fiora player.
Yeah, yeah, the Fiora player. He likes to try to int on Fiora, but it just doesn't always work out, right?
Yeah,
uh,
that's me.
when's the last time you even played Fiora? By the way, I don't even remember. Have you played this split?
Um, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I
Oh, you
haven't
tried
really
to.
had like a good angle for it.
Now. You tried to, but then you pivoted to Vayne in the one game.
Oh yeah. So Arthidius. So the funny story about that, Arthidius kind of like he went 0-11 in game two against Incarnate, and then he had a brain fart. I was talking between Fiora and Vayne, and I was like, I settled on Vayne, but he just heard Fiora and locked that in. And then we were confused. We're like, oh shit, do we ask them? Because technically we had last pick anyways, so it wouldn't have influenced the draft. And they were nice enough to, grant our request.
Yeah, those Stun Gaming guys are pretty cool dudes. I've gotten to
Yeah,
know a few of
definitely.
them. So
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started here on the first series, guys. We're going to be discussing today. This is going to be Stunned Mythos Gaming versus Insane Banana Posse. Stunned Mythos is no longer in a rut. They're finding a way back into the positive side of the win loss column. And yeah, so this first game here, I believe it's the first game. Let me double check because I don't want to. Yeah, it is. Okay. Um, yeah, sticking out, Seko, the guy that went from jungle to top lane, finally got to have himself a good game. 12-1-1 here on the Garen. Something we don't see a lot these days is Garen. Um, but I don't even know where their roles were. Were these the actual correct roles this week? Did everybody play their roles? I think I saw they were doing that. Or am I wrong, CLT?
I believe this is their roles, but I'm not 100% sure. It's been hard to keep up with all the role swappings between them. Mapago role swapped when they faced IBP last week. IBP, of course, has been filling until recently, so it's it's hard. I can't associate their names with a role yet. I haven't watched them and known them long enough, but yeah,
Well, I know
I know.
Seko had moved top because I don't know if you remember Rexy was telling us how their top laner had to go, I think overseas or something for I think it was military if I remember correctly. So they were not available to play. So that's what we have the setup they have now. But even with all that said, looks like they had a good game one without question. Like I said, the 12-1-1 Garen here, 129 getting to play a little bit of Pantheon, getting to kind of experience him a bit more from week to week. His play style, Astros and Guma both picking bit scaling champions and just kind of chilling out. And Rexy continuing to love that Karma. Karma's kind of starting to fall off a little bit, but she still looks to be completely lane dominant. Um, but yeah, on the other side here, we're looking at Same Banana Posse, looking at their normal draft for once, almost. Never mind. What? I think he's played Zeri Jungle before, didn't he? Didn't Flame
he
beat him?
played Jer- he played Zeri Jungle into a Kaza's Kha'Zix, if my memory is
Yeah,
correct.
that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah, yeah.
they've
Good
already
luck.
had. So Go just had experience against this then.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
of Zeri jungle, man? Let's start there.
Oh,
I mean,
be gentle.
I feel like it could have worked. When we watched the replay, we saw that Flame Dog kind of had like the clear down. He was playing it really well. Like he knew all the angles for the Zeri W's, I think, like the laser. Um, but we picked the Kazakhs and winning lanes mid and top just to facilitate the invade because we knew like it's an ADC. You find them by themselves in their jungle and it's pretty much always going to be a free kill or burn summoner spells. So we kind of played for the invade, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do when you see like any type of AD jungler, or even like an off meta jungler that just doesn't pace like a champion design or made for jungle.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I don't remember if it was like a Wukong versus Ari mid that game too, or it was some other matchup, but I remember Noob was kind of Parma pushed in by Arthidius, so that kind of made it easy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Well, here this game then. What do you think about Zeri in this game specifically? Because the way I see it, it's kind of similar to what you explained with your guys' series, where it's like you got a winning lane top lane. I mean, I don't think Garen should lose to Poppy. Um,
Yeah,
and then you got mid lane, which it's a range versus a melee matchup. So I don't know. I feel like the Victor realistically should be getting the push. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, Victor will always have the push in that lane, I'm pretty sure, unless Gwen like cheeses. But Pantheon also kind of similar to Kha'Zix, doesn't have as much damage, but the point and click CC makes Zeri's life difficult.
yeah, don't underrate Pantheon's damage. By the way, all right, that guy does tons of damage. All right.
Yeah, yeah, believe me, I know.
I like his trading pattern. I think he's pretty good in some situations. Like there's certain junglers like, of course, like Jin Zhao for example. You don't really want to take that fight. Like you, kind of beat him early in a way, but you kind of want to kite out after you do your initial damage. Just giving an example. But if he sticks to you, you're gonna lose it every time. So not
Yeah, I
very.
have to agree with that.
But I do think he scales pretty well. I think he does like 3 item in Pantheon is kind of nasty.
Yeah, that's like his peak.
So
yeah, it's not hard for him to get to three pretty cheap items too.
oh yeah, and you have options on that champion. You don't have to go the standard, Sundered Sky type build. You're more than welcome to build like a Yomus or something, or get a little funky with it. Um, I'm not a fan of assassin build on most current junglers that exist, but for the most part, you can do it on them. Like I see J4s going, profane into like what's that item called? I can't even think right now.
Aximark.
Yeah, yeah. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. I see that sometimes. I don't know if it'll work well in competitive play because I think it runs the risk of any of those builds run the risk of you just getting one shot at that point.
Hmm.
But I mean, I guess you can one shot too. So I mean,
Yeah,
go
it's
have
high
some
risk,
fun.
high reward.
Um, but yeah, I think Pantheon here it's definitely hard to play. If I were Flame Dog at this point, this is probably enough of the cheese. I think they've had enough of their fun. Like they were messing around. They're definitely time to crack down. I think it hopefully starts this week, because like the Zeri, like you said, it could work. There's potential, but the requirement to win the game feels like it's so much higher and harder to pull off than it is for a much simpler comp. Like, well, we're just playing front to back Victor, Ezreal, Karma. Like it. What's difficult about that comp? You just
Hmm.
normal game, and then I have an actual jungler in Pantheon who doesn't have an issue with any clear speeds or any issue with ganking. Like he provides CC, which is another thing. There's not a lot of CC here for Zeri to even play the game. Like
There
nothing from
isn't.
mid, barely any from top, and it's into a Garen anyways who has his W. Um, and then I guess you have a Q from Lux, but I don't consider that to be overly reliable. So
Yeah, I feel like this game was sort of lost in draft. Like, how do you ever gank top? How do you gank bot lane? You kind of have no setup into Ezreal Karma. It's hopeless.
And
And
they,
then you don't win like the jungle.
I don't even think they outscale here either, for that matter. Like I think they get outscaled.
This is this is legit a 5 losing lane draft.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well, Zeri outscales
Crazy.
Pantheon, but I just look at it like
Good luck getting there.
yeah.
Yeah.
The CC
I mean, he
provider,
did he went Ghostblade first, and then within 7 minutes, the Garen has 3 kills. Good luck walking in the fog of war.
Yeah. Good luck playing the video game. You're not allowed to do that.
Yes.
Well, what is your take on the actual game, CLT? You kind of brought it up a little bit here about the score
Uh,
line. From what
yeah.
you've seen.
This was just all mythos from the word go. Seko had himself a great phase. Got 3, 4 early kills. War was just getting picked on, and having been a Poppy player for quite a bit during their top lane days, Garen is absolutely an abysmal matchup. Because when you get low health and the Poppy W gives you enhanced armor and MR, Garen gives no shits about that at all, because he just calls his big ass sword from the sky, and you're just playing gray screen simulator. Um, but then on top of that, like you're down in lane and war's going Heartsteel with a tier going towards the winner's approach, so it's like you're already trying to scale with your build, and Gwen needs to scale, Kaisa needs to scale, Zeri needs to scale, now Poppy needs to scale. It's just there's no chance you ever get this to like 40 or 50 minutes. So 15 minutes they're down 8k. Yeah, good luck.
Only 8. That's it.
Oh, yes, shockingly enough, only 8.
You can come back from that. What are you talking about?
Not with this comp.
That's really easy, right, Gojo? That's an easy comeback.
You wish.
I mean, we've seen some crazy comebacks this split, right? Like, I mean, it's not like it's impossible. Uh, I mean, you guys had
Yeah,
one against us. That's why I kind of said what I said. Like, I think comebacks are always there, but yeah, it definitely depends on the comp you're picking. If you don't pick a comp that can scale freely into the game, then the comeback becomes hard. So I do
I mean the
agree with that take at least.
Gwen W doesn't even give you that much value. You're either using it to dodge like big abilities, which Ezreal's cooldowns are so low, it doesn't really matter what you're blocking there, and he can get away from you. And then Karma has shields and tethers and stuff to just keep you at arm's length.
I,
This
I,
is not working. The
does,
Kaisa R5 was super weird here.
yeah, it is strange. Does Gwen beat Garen as throughout the game, or does Garen like? I'm not talking about scoreline, nor scoreline. Like if they're even, Gojo. Well, what's that matchup look like?
No, it does. Gwen kind of gets shit on by Garen. Looking at the stats right now,
It's even obviously
last
worse.
patch, Gwen has a 45% win rate against Garen, which is pretty bad.
Oh, okay. I've heard there's not many counters to Gwen, so that's why I had to double check that. So just pick
Yeah, I
so
feel
just
like
pick Garen. Like
It,
obviously this isn't lane. Like Garen didn't get laned into it, but if you see a Gwen, just pick Garen. That's what I'm hearing.
yeah,
I get
yeah,
the feeling for top lane, if there's no counters or they're just like easily a raid balls, just pick Garen and somehow he wins against them.
Yeah, I hear that a lot actually.
Like with peak tier balance Cassante, it's like what beats Cassante? Oh, Garen. Wait, what?
yeah.
I
Thanks, Bobo.
I think he just provides the this like weird damage spread, and then he gets like naturally tanky pretty much. So like the champion's so diverse, even though it sounds like it shouldn't be, but it actually is. His kit might be simple, but it's more of the abilities are simple. Like I just click Q and I run at you, then I E your face, and then I click R, and at some point I probably click W to reduce some damage and whatever. Like he's just like uh, that's the basic premise of it. But I feel like the kit is a little more in depth and it allows for a lot more unique avenues to win games through your
Just
build
nerf that
pattern.
damn champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Why aren't you playing
So
Garen right now? Is the real question. We're gonna get
I
it
mean,
this
I
week.
can play it. I can play it this next series if you want.
I just want to see more Garen. No, I really don't actually. I don't really
After
care. This champion's not that exciting to watch.
he just clears waves with his E and then like sustains back up with his passive. eventually you get enough damage to just like one shot them.
Yeah. It's like a mix of like you got Darius with the R and the true damage, but then he's got like Mundo's passive on him, and then he
Exactly.
has wave clear that not many top laners can even match. It's like what the hell do you even play into this champion?
I think what
Yeah, you're
I'm most shocked by is how quick this game ended, though. Like a 19-minute game, like that's insane. Like I didn't realize that
that's
when
the quickest, right? The split.
I think it might be.
I believe so. It is, yeah. I think there was a
I mean, how do you even
21-minute
find the
game.
end angle here is the real question. Like to pull that off, it's kind of crazy.
Simple Demacia.
I don't think ending is like like hard per se for the most part, but I do
Eh,
think this season generally is not the easiest to just walk into their base and end at 20 minutes.
They had a dancing Rift Herald, mind you.
Yeah, I'm watching the end of the game. Like, what in the world, bro? It's kind of comical.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think IBP wants to forget this one.
yeah, they definitely do. I mean, Mythos maybe back on track. Maybe they're back to their old ways. I don't know. I don't know yet. But they did just beat an IBP that were actually playing their roles. So maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But let's jump into game two here. Uh,
Oh no, what is this draft?
well, look, game two actually went the distance a bit here. We almost hit the 30-minute mark, so it's an actual game. Um, Guma here on the Varus 9017. What 129 pulling out Fizz jungle. I have seen that popping up a little bit. I think I've seen Broxah play it a bit as well. So I have heard that it might be good. I played against it a couple times. I think it's actually not that great, but I mean, if you're gonna try stuff, you're up 1-0 in a series. You're against an opponent you feel like you're probably better than at the moment. I get the testing. Um, And though the Fizz looks good, the Yasuo, maybe Yasuo should put that away, and he should keep that out of his bag from this
He was
point
into a
forward.
Jax.
Yeah,
He was. I mean, like Noob is a top laner by trade, so picking like a Yasuo Yone, it it's probably not the mid you want to play that into. Just throwing that out there. Also, Draven top.
Yeah,
God,
I love that pick.
I didn't even see
of
that it
course
was
you would.
Draven top. Okay, never mind. This draft is so not normal.
No, I will see your Zeri jungle, and I'll raise you a Fizz and a Draven. Crackler pulling out the Quay. Not exactly known for that many mages.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side, Noob had himself another good game. I think Noob's been like an unsung hero of this team. I know they've only got one win, but that one win was him doing things. So, um,
We can't even. We don't even remember what role he played for that win.
ADC. That was his ADC
Oh,
Olaf game, and something else. I think
oh
Glenn
God.
ADC.
Okay.
Yes. All right, give this man some credit. Um, yeah. So, man, what do
I'll
you
put.
think about these two drafts going on over here? From your perspective, Gojo.
Um, I like the Ivern Hue Soraka combo. I feel like it creates like the Ivern ult, gives a lot of zone pressure. Same with the Hue, like you can control a lot of the space and have Soraka for like anti-dive with the Fizz. I actually watched this game and I believe IBP was actually winning pretty hard early. And then I don't know what happened. Like maybe the macro got weird, but I feel like they could have won this game.
That's their kind of story. This split is the unironicness of like if they actually played their roles most of the split, they're probably looking at 3 or 4 wins. I feel like at this point, like they're not a bad team by no means. They just were having some fun shenanigans. So I'm not surprised to hear what you're saying because like I remember watching a couple games here and there where they were like in the game, like they were either winning or like within 1,000K gold lead at like almost 20 minutes. Like they had a chance. But then there's just games that are just whatever was that last game that we just looked at, right? So, um, they're like Two Face. Their team is like Two Face. You never know which side you're gonna get.
they either have the most entertaining game of the week you're gonna watch, or the one that's like the biggest email. It's
Well,
like,
they got both apparently.
yeah, evidently.
One
It's,
one was sent by Telegram. The other was sent by email. That's how I'm looking at this. All right.
it's something.
The Telegram was this game. It took some
This,
time to get there because it was actually a decent watch, right?
I mean, this is the more curious of the like games I would want to just sit down and watch, because I do think there's avenues for IBP to grind out this game, but there's just not a lot of damage coming out. Like, you can grind out a team comp, or you can grind out a team, yeah, with Ivern, Shen, Soraka, like, just kind of hope Hui can stall so then Jax can carry a game, but there's also just not a lot of CC or lockdown, so
I
like
IBP drafted well actually. Looking at this and really like breaking this down, like the only threat to me like is kind of this Fizz. Like actually though, like yeah, Varus is kind of a threat, but like there are ways to shut down the Varus pretty easily. I think the Jack Shen do that pretty well. There's a period of time where you basically can't kill the champions. Yeah, you have your Q, but you still auto. Like it's not like Varus doesn't ever auto. Um, you know.
the redemption kill by Flame Dog at 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, we'll click on that one. But I think like the draft actually isn't bad. Like the more and more like I'm looking at it, I don't know what
Yeah.
I'd change. Maybe like you kind of need AP. Maybe Flame just goes a damage
it's at
jungle.
it's at around 9:50 game time.
Okay. Like what do we
Yeah.
think about that? Like Gojo, what do you think? If we drop the Ivern, is it a better comp or am I just capping?
Um, I mean, I feel like the Ivern Soraka kind of goes into like that LS type of playstyle that he always advocates for, and feels like IBP were kind of trying to recreate that. What I would probably change is, I don't know, maybe like removing the Shen for some other kind of bruiser that has more damage. And then I don't know, like mid lane could probably be Corki if you're really like if you really want to take the Hui bot lane. Just some sort of like AD consistent damage. Corki, Akshan, I don't know.
Okay, well let's look at it from IBP's point of view, because we know that Noob is not going to probably be playing those champions you just named in the mid lane.
Yeah.
So let's keep the Jax. If do you think it's still better than with the Bruiser top you're talking about?
Um, I would probably I mean War has Urgot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if it
if
was
it's
Yeah,
banned.
I
not
feel
banned.
like
Was it banned? I didn't
Yes, it
remember.
was.
oh, it was banned. Okay. Okay, I don't know then. I don't know his champion
I,
pool.
I don't think the Nautilus is terrible here either. Like, Nautilus is up. That at least
Yeah,
gives you
Nautilus, Gnar, something like that.
it gives you some damage. Like, Nautilus is not the lowest damage tank out there, but it also
And
gives
it
you a
gives
little
you
bit of
like
lockdown.
engage. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like they need that. Um, but if you go Nautilus top, I feel like you kind of need a Corki, like Jax, especially with the Essence Reaver, full take Cyclosword build he went with. It's kind of
Wait,
hard to
what?
play.
Oh,
Yeah, the Jax build.
oh my. Okay. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
You gotta keep.
Maybe a bruiser build would have been better, especially against like the heavy damage comp of Mythos. Because you know you have the sustain and shielding with Ivern, Shen, Soraka. So I feel like imagine you go something like Triforce, Zeke's with Death's Dance. Like you kind of just don't die. And there's no way a Fizz is gonna be like trying to go for you when he has other targets. So you don't even need them all. You can just go like Triforce, Death's Dance, Derek's Gage. Even Randuin's goes crazy with the Draven Yasuo. Like you're kind of unkillable. And I know this because we played against Coin Flip last split and they did Jax Ivern. That it kind of like played out the way I'm describing, felt unplayable.
Still got a little PTSD from that.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah.
it.
So I feel like IBP could have done the same and easily won. Like at 18 minutes, the score is 9-17 in favor of IBP. The gold is dead even. Jax is 10-2. Yasuo is 1-9. Like this game could have been free.
Yeah, and then you're also running like 80 carry top, and you also obviously have an 80 carry bot lane. So you have double 80 carry in the game. Yeah, they're gonna scale pretty well, but like there's decent amount of CC. It's not a free scaling game by no means for either the Straven or Varus, in my opinion. I feel like the avenue is there. Like it's definitely there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I actually think like the Hawaii should actually be happy here too. Like the Hawaii should just be able to get off tons of damage throughout the entire game. But
If I'm Hue, I'm not wanting any part of their team comp.
it's just a fizz you don't want to see. Yeah, I don't think who
It's
cares
a
about
fizz. It's a win wall. You get
yeah.
outranged by Varus. Nico can
Windwall
just.
overrated, dude. Just put your little fear on the ground when he starts eating around, and then you can just you can catch him while he's eating.
Uh,
How do you play the game?
I've no, as a Hue player, I've been on the receiving end of a Yasuo that happens to be in this chat right now. I'm good. I don't want to see it.
Was that the
So
scrims?
Is that the
yes,
scripts?
I got
Yeah,
first. I got first blood on him, and then he proceeded to just punish me for the rest of the game.
Deserved for
yeah.
playing
It's
Hawaii.
it's a rough matchup.
Let's be
I
honest.
remember that now.
Yeah.
You can forget it.
Just forget it. Well, you know what? We'll go ahead and move on from the series. We will not forget what IBP did on this day. We will remember as they are ready to play now because they're playing as a full normal roster. So let's go IBP. I'm excited for what you're going to bring the next 2 weeks. I think you actually aren't going to play this week. Maybe I can't remember. You have
They are playing on
oh
Friday.
they're playing NTR. By the way,
Yep.
that winner of that is 100% more than likely going to be your eighth seed. So. That's
Yep.
actually
Nice.
an important series at the
hmm
moment. So, um, who thought that these teams would be in this situation? You know, what a nice pop blossom by Rexy at the end. Yeah, we'll get into the next series here. We are going to discuss at least we'll talk about a little bit the Stun Gaming Incarnate versus Notorious Thieving Raccoon series. Again, we don't have the VOD for you guys, unfortunately, and nobody was able to record the series on their end to get it to us, and we were not able to cast. So it's the first miss we've had in almost a year. It's been a long time, but
Well,
it has happened and been thrust upon us. So we'll just kind of jump in real quick. We'll give a little quick discussion about it, and we'll move on to the next series. But yeah, so Lysander, 19-5-6 on the Vagar. That's pretty good, buddy. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Jacob's been having fun up there. I know he's loving the video game. Everybody's a big Jacob fan around here. I don't know if Gojo is, but if you're not, I think you have to get in the Jacob fan club because apparently that's what CLT started. He's petitioned. He's petitioned for its existence.
hey,
So
he's an entertaining player to watch. I will give him that.
he's like a some support main too, by the way. I think.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's not an actual top lane main. Well, like when you look at his solo queue stats, he's not. So I'm sure he's playing some of it, of course, on like flex or maybe like scrims, obviously. But solo queue, I want to say it was support. Do you remember? Because you played these guys obviously at this point. So do you remember what his stuff was, Gojo?
Yeah, I think this season he was mostly playing support champions, but I looked through the previous three splits and I saw top lane as his most played.
Okay, so he is an
Uh,
actual top lane player. Okay.
yeah, he's top support.
Fair enough. Okay. On the other side, it looks like
That's such a
did
weird
they do a full
like
roast
two
swap on
roles.
NTR? Because Staney is appearing to go top again here, which I'm game for. Playing some
Yeah, they
Camille.
did.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I like it. I like the swap. Let Staney try to cook up in the top lane. Try to carry the boys. Him versus War should be fun to watch, I think. Um, but yeah, I mean, you're looking at the game. It's really just like there was no answer for this Vigar. Which is surprising to me because you actually have J4 Camille. Like I feel like, and Ari, which isn't horrible. Obviously, she's not the biggest fan of the matchup, but like it's playable. Like how's this guy having such a great game? And like, is it the Bard? Did you Bard ult him like 24/7? That's all I can think of. Barbecue is like, I got you. I'm just gonna throw tempered fate when they jump on your head, dude. I got it. Don't worry about it.
He has a lot of disruption in front of him. I think Vagar is actually low key slept on. Like I wasn't too high on the pick, but I've seen few players this split, Lysander being one of them. He's busted out one other time. I I think the cage is like low key like super underrated, and a lot of people disrespect the Vagar.
Yeah. Well, I think people don't realize it's actually a known counter into stuff like, for example, Akali, um,
Nari.
and Ari. Yeah, and I think it's actually a technical. LeBlanc is a dash, right? So I'm pretty sure he's actually pretty good in LeBlanc if I remember correctly as well. So
Mm, if you can get through the laning phase, I can see that. But LeBlanc, because it's a blink backwards, your cage animation's just too slow.
fair enough. Fair enough.
At least in the early parts of that laning phase.
Yeah. But those are just some that come to mind. It's obviously should be good into some of these junglers too, um, like Jin Zhao. Jin Zhao kind of just dash on people for free if there's a cage in front of his face, stuff like that. But without that said, I mean, the draft here from Incarnate, it's pretty chill. I think it's a pretty good draft. Nothing wrong with it on their end, and I don't even think that there's a bad draft on the side of Notorious Thieving Raccoons as well. Just like they've had all split. They've been trying to learn how to play as a team, and with a bit of a swap here, I think that affects things towards the ending of the split. I'm sure now they're back to relearning some things as a team. With Stanley going top and Gummy going 80 carry.
Best to do the swap now, get a week under your belt, maybe get some practice in before, a big matchup against IBP. So I can
Yeah,
respect it.
and you never know what happens. I mean, if your one victory comes against IBP, it's gonna feel pretty darn good. And play-ins aren't necessarily a full reset, but they are an opportunity, right? And to be in the play-ins after the way your split is gone would have to feel pretty good, I think. So, let's see what they got. But let's peer it. I should say, was there anything you wanted to say about what you see here on your side, Gojo?
Um, I'm just questioning the pick and ban phase for NTR because when we when we played Incarnate, we looked through all of the bans that their opponents were throwing at them, and one common like set of bans was Foley and Bard. It's literally in his name. Like I don't know why you're giving the guy his main
Mm,
champ if you're not trying to like first pick it away. And NTR even had blue, so they could have done it. Um, but other than that, I feel like the Vagar kind of just was a genius pick. It hard counters Camille. She can't dash in. J4 can't dash in. Ari's kind of like stuck. She can't do anything. I feel like the zoning control of the Vagar cage kind of just like won them the game. And obviously, Lysander played really well. Player I've had my eyes on, so
Yeah, he's
it's
been
good
really
to
good. I was gonna say, and I don't disagree about the ability to zone and countering things. For me personally, I've played the J4 and the Veigar a lot over the years. I don't even feel bad about that matchup. I think it's fine. Like as far as from the jungle side of things, ganking at Veigar is not nearly as impossible as some other picks trying to gank as like J4. Like trying to gank at a Kali as J4 feels miserable half the time. Like
Yeah, yeah. I meant more so like in the team fights, but I do agree with your statement that NTR probably should have focused him down in lane. That's where he's weak.
yeah,
Um, Obviously we don't have the replay to see if they actually did that or not, so I apologize if I'm wrong.
yeah, they might have definitely attempted. I mean, looking at Dionysus' score does. I just kind of feel like they probably did put some pressure into his lane. He definitely pops off for their team. Like I feel like he's like their soul of their team a lot of times. Him and Staney. Um, so yeah, 4-7 isn't a great score line, but like you said, we all can agree that's not a great matchup. So
Hmm.
5 head pick. Let's go ahead and take a peek here at game two. Looks like Wintech,
Oh,
he saw some Kazakhs and he wanted to get in on the action. And what the heck is this 20 kill mid lane Ezreal game, bro? Like, what in the world?
Hey, his counterpart had 22 kills on the talent.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Wow.
Good,
Wait. Wait. Why
bro.
was this?
Homie's loaded
44-minute
up.
game. A
What is this?
44-minute game. That's crazy.
Homie's loaded up in the brawl this game. They didn't
Wait.
even play on Summoner's Rift.
Are you telling me that the raccoons could have won this game? Because that's the vibe I'm getting, bro. What the
I
hell?
mean,
Yeah.
Why did we miss this banger? Oh, I'm
I
so
don't know. I
disappointed.
don't know.
Like what?
I had no idea.
Nobody knew. And if you guys are watching this, either of you guys, NTR or Incarnate, man, hit us up sometime. Send us the VOD, man. We'll definitely put it up. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Looks like a banger game for sure.
full AP Malphite
The
out
fact
of
that
Jacob.
there's two players in this game with 20 kills, and there's two players in this game with 19 kills, and there's still two other players with over 10 plus kills in this game. But then on the flip side, there's also somebody with 16 deaths. So like,
Yo,
I
everyone
guess
has like double-digit deaths except Penguin.
Penguin, you're just good. You're actually just a god
Except
because
for the guy with
you
the spell
survived
shield.
this 45 minute game with only 9 deaths. Oh, Staney had 19 deaths, bro.
Yeah, this is probably like the game of the split.
I
That's a f-
every one of these stat lines are so close to records. I feel like if you put them together, they're records. Like I feel like 19, 19, and 13 is a record because it's like the most even kills to death game ever. Like it has to be like highest stat wise. You know, like I don't think I've ever seen that. Like,
it's a 44-minute game that averaged 2.5 kills a minute.
that's
Wow.
it's
What the hell?
all right, man. If you guys watch the episode, please tell us what happened. I know
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like did Doom play the first game? He did. Doom is their sub, right, for Incarnate?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I
I
think
believe
so.
he is, yeah.
I think Spirit Tracks is the main
Yeah. I was gonna
ADC.
say, where's Spirit, man? I actually like Spirit a lot. Like, where's this guy at?
Spirits played well this
I
split.
think he's had. I'm gonna a little
Hmm.
insight into my thought process here. I think if Spirit played more games, he was kind of feeling like a possible MVP candidate. I feel like he's missed out on a couple series, like 2 or 3 series
I
at this point. And
I
feel
don't
like
disagree.
I feel like that's kind of killed that momentum that I was totally gonna start building up. But his counterpart in the mid lane, not his counterpart, I should say, his what's the word I'm looking for? His compadre in arms or whatever, like the guy that does the damage with him. Lysander, I think, is somebody that I think is in the conversation for MVP though. Like I know I like to have this more towards the end of the episode, but it just had me thinking because I'm thinking about Spirit Tracks. Like, where's this guy been, bro? Like, get this guy into some gaming. It's crazy. So. But yeah, looks like it was a fun game. Anybody have any opinions on drafts or any opinions on anything in particular that's sticking out other than the obviously tons of kills?
Uh,
Um, Go ahead, CLT.
I mean, the only person that can soak up cooldowns built full AP in this game, so it's ARAM deathmatch style. Like I don't even like what it was. It's just don't. I don't know.
I don't
Don't get hit
mind
by
the
anything.
build actually from the Malphite, but
I
I
don't
do
either.
think if he
That's
went like a mixture of both armor and AP, it would have made him. It might have ended the game quicker.
Yeah, they're like 4 AD and 3 of them are assassins. Like I feel like if you just build, but I think he was just trying to have fun, which I can respect.
Yes, that's probably what it was.
yeah.
We'll give him the
Just-
credit. He was probably just having fun. Little did you know he's over here like noob building or something. He's like, I'm a noob. How do
I
build Malphite?"
I'm just surprised there's not augments on the screen. Just
I know. I
blowing
was
up.
literally gonna say that. I was like, this is literally an ARAM game.
Well, congratulations, Thunder Incarnate. You won the first ARAM of the split. All right, I'm out
Maybe
of here,
that's what we
man.
should do for all stars. Is just ARAM.
Yeah,
Just make
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
totally.
we should.
Just only all stars. All right, well, let's get into the next series, man, because I'm sure we could chitter chatter about that series all day, just with how the hilariousness is. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in here into small brain no mechanics versus femboys. Um, so yeah, for this first game, Eureka had himself a pretty nice performance, looking a little bit more like old Eureka, but we'll hold our tongue on that. Let's let him get back into the groove there before we crown him or anything that he's back. Moon Prince here with the Mel pick I think was really spicy and um, definitely had a lot of success. And if you're wondering who Moon Prince is, guys, that's just Angel Boy, aka Mac. He just name changed again on us. Like he couldn't just wait till the end of the split. This guy. Uh, um, and then that was Wayne Grod top as well, Hanover Boy.
Okay.
His account got banned, I guess. And funny enough, uh, Primothy, that's actually improvised. His account also got banned as of right now. So both of these players just deciding to say apparently bad things in solo queue and just getting in trouble. So I'm assuming that's what happened. I did not get to discuss with either of them about the topic, but I'm sure that's what occurred. Um, be nice in solo queue, guys. All right, be
It's
nice.
hard.
Indeed. Um, but yeah, so I obviously I played in this game, but I'll let you guys kind of lead off first. See what you guys have to say about the game one here.
I, I mean, I can tackle it from a draft perspective. I didn't get a chance to really watch much of the series. Um,
Do you ever watch my series anymore, man?
why you gotta make it like that?
I don't remember the last time you watched a series of mine.
Dude, I can't remember the last time I casted a series. Like
True.
it's life, man. It's
True. Old man over here.
look, true, true. Do think I'm the oldest in the server, but I digress. No, I mean this is a pride and true pick that every Rika team can play is the Ari Vi, and I think when you have pretty immobile carries like the Caitlyn, like the Oriana, especially during the laning phase, the Oriana, it's a pretty easy target. Zenma only going 2, 8, and 6. I feel like they did capitalize that on it. At least that would be my guess. And then also they have a decent amount of range with the Mel. So overall, it's a team comp that on paper you wouldn't think would be that great, but it is pretty strong. I do like the fact that you guys don't have the biggest, most impactful buttons to reflect for Mel, so the W value goes down. But ultimately, like you're walking into a Nar Mel. The Nami has a lot of value here with the ult. So there's probably some fights that can get turned pretty easily for the sake of the Femboys squad. But I mean, for what you guys like to play, for as long as I've been watching Small Brains, this is a tried and true Small Brains comp. The Hail of Blades on Zenzao's a little interesting. Maybe you can give a little insight on that. I don't think I've seen that. Um,
Um, I decided this game there really wasn't a lot that I did like conquer would matter too much. It was just a lot of targets I could burst down. I mean, even the Vi isn't even the Vi's that isn't that tanky, and she's definitely the tankiest on the team. If Nar's not in Mega Nar, so I was just like, I figured I'd go for kind of these bursty plays and try to one shot the target I'm jumping on with whoever, like with the Oriana, or the Renekton. That was the idea there,
I
and
think
I think it had pretty good success. I don't think it was bad at all by any means. I've played it in the past, so
I do think Merc treads go pretty hard here for you guys. I see double tabbies up at the top side.
yeah,
So,
I think I messed that up a
I
little
mean
bit there.
that's
I look
I feel
back
like
at
that's a
that.
touch of a nitpick, but yeah.
Yeah, sometimes in the game, like you're looking at your playing the Violet. She was pretty strong at the time. The Ari was like not too giga strong when I decided to opt into this. But in hindsight, I think yeah, I'd agree. Merc Treads would have been a little better for sure. So things happen. You don't always think about every little thing, right?
Mm.
But yeah, Gojo, what kind of your take? I know you watched a bit of the series, so
Yeah, just initially going off of draft, I feel like both teams have pretty clear win conditions. I feel like I would personally be happy with either your draft or Femboys. I feel like both are playable and it's just gonna come down to execution. Something that I feel like is probably was probably gonna be key is kind of like the mid jungle 2v2. It's gonna decide like the trajectory for the rest of the game because I don't think like Mel Nami can ever really pressure Caitlyn, Leona. Can't they don't really have kill pressure like that. Top lane is sort of Gnar favored after he gets tabbies. But before then, Renekton can kind of pressure, and at 3 minute 45, like Vic does do a good job of pressuring. I think he almost gets a solo kill if he didn't miss his Q. But I felt like when I was watching, you guys did a good job of trying to, protect the Ori, because Vi tries a lot to get these ganks in, and you're there to counter gank. You also get the Caitlyn few kills bot lane when you gank. So you kind of did your job there to set them up for success, and then, focusing your attention post 6 to stop that Vi Ari combo. Obviously, like that unlucky thing that we see happen where Zema is like one auto away from killing Ririka, but then he gets charmed midair and then like CC'd by Vi, which is unlucky, but what can you do? I feel like you had a great game in jungle though. You were kind of like everywhere you needed to be, and it's unlucky that you lost, but you did an excellent job of dictating the tempo in early game as the win conditions required you to.
Yeah, no, I think the team played pretty well too. You know, I know Zema's score looks like he struggled, and he kind of did, but I don't think he was playing bad on the Ori pick. They definitely, if CLT lets you know, they definitely hard focused it. Like they were trying to shut him down the best they could, and for the most part, it was having success because, as Gojo said, like so many times she's like, I cannot believe that like Dari living on 1 HP. Like I feel like it happened like 5,000 times.
Yeah,
Like
it
really.
did. I saw three myself. Like
uh,
I don't know more,
Definitely,
but
if there's some trade kills there, I think it makes a difference. Um, like the worst case scenario, they're talking trade kills. Like it's a 1-for-1 mid laners both die or something, but it just never went that way. That's a part of the game. It's gonna happen. Um, I don't I don't like feel that we were completely like wrecked in that mid jungle in the game. Like I think we played pretty well together. Um, just things have to fall your way, and sometimes they don't. Uh, but there are still avenues to win. I mean, I think we still had a bit of an advantage throughout the game. I know we had a Baron play, which I I'm still stunned that it went the way it did. Like we can actually just kind of scroll to it because I think this is really the turning point of the game, in my opinion. I don't know when the Baron was started. Um, it was pretty early. I want to say. Was it this? No, because we would have been jumping over the wall. Maybe like 23. Yeah, okay. Like so, about 22 and a half minutes. We'd gotten a pick on the Ari. We killed her, and we jump right onto two of them. We end up one shotting the Nami. Yeah, Baron's at like 5K, but we should be fine. And Nar's basically just killing the whole team by himself, while we're killing the back line. So it was pretty sad. I don't know what was the focus there in that situation from my back line because I was Fid, improvised, and Zema. But that fight looked so good, and then it wasn't. So after that, I feel like they just kind of took over the game. I think if we're able to get that Baron and the fight goes the way I'm anticipating it to go, I do think we're in a winning position. So because as you can see, the Drakes were only 2-1. It's not like the Drake advantage was heavy in any team's favor. So and I do think we outscale here. Like we're gonna scale so well. We have Caitlyn Ori, and we have nice like zone control with the Leona Jinzao. Like we can control how fights should pan out with the usage of our abilities. Um, Renekton just happy to be there. So yeah, I think good game at FM boys, man. That's pretty much my take. They played it well and um, got a much needed win for themselves to keep them in line for that fourth seed spot at the moment. So, if is there anything else from you guys, or would you like me to continue?
I'm
I mean,
not
I
big.
don't have anything. You summarized it pretty well and kind of described how like tense and close the game was. Like when I watched the Baron fight, literally like if Caitlyn doesn't get hit by one of those random Baron spits, like the whole fight could be, the entire game could be different, you know? It's just unlucky. You guys had like good pressure, you and Vic, to disrupt their backline and kill them all, which you did. Like that's like your primary job, and you did that successfully. It's just unlucky at the end of the day, but obviously props to Femboys. They all like Waingrod played that flawlessly. He didn't waste his hop over there. Feel like part of me would have just clicked E in the starting and then I would have just gotten kited, but he saved it until the Caitlyn used her dashes and he was able to get on top. Also, just noticed he also had a stride breaker. I've never really seen that, but maybe that was the difference in that Baron fight. So maybe that item was like 200 IQ.
Yeah, I mean, definitely could have been. I'd have to really watch it back and dissect it to kind of give a really honest take on the fight, and I'm sure um, purists can find the answer. I mean, we could go back to the classic. If Elise just used, you know what I'm talking about, the Fnatic play. Elise just used her
Yeah.
whatever it was. What the heck was it? The I forgot. But whatever she didn't wasn't even an ability. I think she have like Shirelias or something, something stupid like that. They were talking about. They just used this. It would have made the difference. Like there's so many small things and details and plays. Like you said, like just the Baron Q auto thing, whatever it is called, like little spit thing. Uh, if that doesn't hit, one of those doesn't hit, and Caitlyn takes a little less damage. That could have been the difference, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of how the game goes sometimes. Mel was also pretty strong, so that impacted a lot of that too. Because me and Vic, if Vic lives there, I'd like to believe that we just win that rest of that fight.
Yeah, that burst was
So
crazy by Mel. I
yeah,
I would not expect that to kill me if
I,
I was
I,
the
I honestly
replacement.
didn't either. Like he said, I think I'm dead here, and then I'm like, no, there's no way in my head, and all of a sudden he's dead. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, I guess he's correct. He is dead here.
yeah.
So but yeah, we can go ahead and jump into game two. So, um, another, I think, pretty good draft by both teams for the most part. Uh, Inara picked up here for Moon Prince. I think putting him on anything that can give him carry potential is really, really strong. I will admit, I don't love Vayne in this game, regardless of it being good into Mbessa, but I think he played it well and got away with it a little bit. So um, not able to maybe punish as much as we probably should have in the game. Um, Inferno had himself a nice little Volibear game, uh, kind of just chilling out, doing some things, playing some Volibear. I think Volibear pick is actually pretty strong here. I mean, it's into four melee champions, so I think anytime you see that stuff like Volibear is gonna have should have success. Um, and then on the flip side, I think our draft was not bad, but there's definitely some spots that could have been cleaned up. I don't really love the Ezreal pick too much, but we're trying to give our six man some comfortability here. Um, and I don't really love the Galio. I think the Galio worked best with
I
me because I like CC. I'm Lee Sin. Like I'm like digging the CC for my champion, but there's other damage AP champions that bring reliable CC. But those were probably the only two picks that stuck out in my face. Maybe maybe not. I don't know. I know people have said the R3 and best, so maybe not the best angle, but I don't think there was too many picks that really should have messed the Mbessa up. Like, who's expecting Wayne Grod to pull out a Vayne top of all things? So,
mm, yeah, don't I don't mind the Ezreal, like looking at it picture for picture, just because the only thing really threatening you is like a surprise from walking in the volley bear or Annie. So like Ezreal's decent at keeping his distance here, but it's just a question of can he get meaningful damage. Like it comes down to the Ezreal player damage wise to play it correctly. But the Galio is interesting. I actually felt like you guys needed a little more like just scaling, like some way to to maybe get rid of this volley bear a little bit quicker, or the other part could have been playing something that allows you to give a little zone control. Like, I actually don't really think like Vigar is a terrible spot for him uh, into the ante. And the cage has decent value here. I mean, Volley Bear ult's the only thing guaranteed, and he, at like rank 3, he comes out of the cage still with remnants of stun on it. So, I like, you can go two different ways. I think you can either go like a high burst mage, so you're guaranteed the Blitzcrank Q kills somebody, or you go the other direction and you make it harder for them to come into you in that regard.
Yeah, I could definitely see the angle.
Like, even
And
Syndra's
that's
not terrible here.
yeah. I mean, I definitely was loving Syndra. We haven't been playing it much, so I guess we're not very comfortable on the pick currently. But I do think Syndra would have went super hard. There's some other
Cass
options too.
Cassio's not bad either.
Yeah, I think Cassio's good here. It's actually really good because you have three champions that have little dashies, so you can negate their ability to do the little dashies. It sometimes makes all the difference, especially against stuff like Vayne. But specifically against Yanara, if you ever get her with the miasma, like she can't click alt and utilize it. Like that's huge.
Hmm.
So, um,
Yeah, all their champs are very, very committal, so ult is not exactly the hardest thing to land either.
yeah, exactly. So, look, Gojo, what's your vibe on the game, man?
I just had a question for you guys. Um, in draft, I know like Zema likes the Azir or Aurora. I'm just curious why you guys didn't take that like during the first phase because
Yeah, I
that
think
kind of
we
would.
were talking about it too, and I think it was a small little goof up there. And we ended up taking the like his
Blitzcrank.
no, not the blitzcrank. The blitzcrank was fine to take. I think we should have held top lane pick and just R3 mid lane instead. We wanted we wanted to play for counter for Zema there. At least that's what he
Mm.
was calling for. Plus wanting Aurora, it kind of went like both ways. But I think in hindsight, we just sort of went Aurora straight up, and I think that's where the miscommunication there of that happened was like it shouldn't have been. It should have just been like, I want this and that's it. Like who cares about counter? Who cares about any of that, right? Like that's where the miscommunication of that came from. But Aurora was definitely on the table. That was something we wanted to play in game two. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
feel
I
like
think
that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree that would have made a difference. But even with that said, I mean, with the pivot, like I think it's still fine if we just pick a few of the champions that are available. Like it's not like they weren't options, right? So
Hmm. Yeah,
I think
I
if you're
think.
staring down Yanara, Volibear, Lulu, Aurora's kind of riskier. So I think, hindsight, because then it gets banned phase 2 with with them taking away the Aurora and the Azir. So
Yeah, that's why
ah,
I was
eh,
thinking maybe Azir as well because they would never like pick Vayne into Azir, you know? You kind of just get like zone controlled by the soldiers. If you walk
oh,
up to
that's
like
fair. Yeah,
auto, you get chunked for like half your HP, and then you have your ult as peel. Um, because I know like Zema is probably like the best Azir in the server, so I feel like he could blind it into pretty much most matchups and come out on top. And then you can just save the Blitzcrank for the next phase because I doubt they would ban Blitz. It's such like a random pick.
that's fair.
yeah, I like the blitz personally. I think the blitz was good. Um, it's
I
something
just
Yeah,
that
think
yeah,
yeah
I think the conversation is you just maybe showed it a little too early.
yeah, yeah. Like you could have picked it after because I don't think they would ban it.
yeah, and that's probably true. But that's hindsight sometimes. Draft
Yeah. Oh
draft
yeah.
mistakes can happen. But like there's still a winning angle here. Even with the exact draft we drafted, there's still a winning angle here. But it does not happen or come to fruition, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, that's why it leads me again to say like Gojo. So since you've had your question now, like, what do you think of the actual game itself?
I think it was just kind of unlucky they picked Vayne. Mbessa kind of has very few bad matchups. That's why it's one of the best blind picks in pro as well. They just pick it and then goes even into like almost every matchup or wins it. So I can see why you guys picked it, especially with Renekton off the table, which is one of the main Mbessa counters. Um, I personally wouldn't have expected a Vayne either, but regardless of all of this, I skipped around and I remember like coming back to watch this shit and I was like, holy crap, here was his 11, 1 and 7. What the hell? Like you were having like a generational game. You must have been like all over the place.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of
You had like
bouncing around.
three dragons as well, so at 21 minutes you guys have three, femboys have zero dragons, so you kind of like locked up the map, you know?
Yeah, it was just a bit of a funky call. Uh, we shouldn't have gone Baron. We should have gone and just played Soul. His Soul was up in like 50 seconds, and we go Baron, get chunked by Baron, and we just path incorrectly, and then we just lose a fight basically, and the game's just over. Um, which is unfortunate in this game. But they actually had a bit of a lead. Like I think a lot of the gold was on me for the most part in this game. Um, so it wasn't like we were playing a free game with that setup you talk about, that 21 minutes. Um, but we had a win con at least, which was
Yeah,
get to
yeah, you
Elder.
guys.
Like it was like just get to Elder, win an Elder fight, and then that's enough to probably get you over the hump in a game like this. Cause like we're never gonna outscale. Like that's without question. We're not outscaling this game. Um, but there is an angle to win. Like there's always an angle to win if you just utilize what your draft does well. And I think we were doing that for the most part. Um, but we just decided to do a Baron, and the world will never know why we did that Baron. I don't know why we did that Baron. To be honest with you.
You guys are the T1 of Midwest.
Yes, I guess so. Either
And
me.
you have Blitzcrank too. Like I mean you can just like hook someone and the entire fight is like different. You do
Yeah,
have like
I
good
think at that point,
potential.
hooking the Volibear isn't really like what you want to do. He was a bit tanky at that point. I don't think we're one shotting him. Um,
Hmm.
that's why I'm not really loving the Baron, because the Baron requirement to win is you go Baron, you hook someone like you said, you kill them, and now Baron's free, or you just get the whole fight and you just kill everybody else because you one shot one target already. Um, but what? How are we one shotting Volibear that has the Deadman's at that point, has a decent amount of armor? We don't have a real AP threat, like kinda, not really. I guess is how you want to look at it. Not that Galio does nothing, but I don't consider him a true AP threat. Definitely not a one shot your team AP threat. So, but uh, but yeah, hats off to Femboys. I think you know Moon Prince played really really well. Had a really nice Yunara game, and
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just super impactful. So also unlucky at the end of the game. I got really tilted by this because I was gonna come back and play this out. Freaking Q hits the stupid Krug that got the Ezreal E attracted it. Like what the heck? Like of all things. Like how does that make sense, bro? Like Riot, please. I don't
Unlucky.
know if we're gonna like kill anybody there, but we might. It's possible if we get one more kill, maybe the game doesn't end there, or Ezreal can maybe continue to kite it out or something. So it was pretty unfortunate, but yeah, it was a fun series, and always happy to play against Rika and the team. I think it was my first official game against Mac as well, and well, I guess the whole team, Mac, Inferno, and Wingrad and Ashes. So it was nice to get to play against them, as they are the reigning champs. So,
Yep.
but all right, I guess we'll do the last series then. We'll talk about the guy that came here to hang out on the show. It seems like every time we have someone on the show, their series is the last series.
That seems to work like that, unfortunately.
Are we planning it to make them stay the whole episode? I don't know. Conspiracy theory. Yeah. So Gojo, you can lead us off. I'll say this before you do go into full spiel. Um, looks like our 30th had himself a cracked game. 1325, and it looks like Toji was doing some work down there as well. I'm not saying that you guys also didn't have a great game. You had a good game, 9017, but those kind of stick out to me.
He,
Um,
he
so
let's be honest, he had a free game.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask CLT for his opinion after I talk a little bit about the first game.
Okay.
So going into this, we knew, like we saw it on their match history that they really like doing the Ori Nocturne combo, and usually based on our previous results, like against Scourge, we've kind of had the better of them, so we really didn't want to like get the game cheesed away from us, so we picked Nocturne to break up the combo. But they responded pretty well with Xin Zhao and Xayah, like Ori, Xin Zhao, Xayah. They're all kind of difficult champions for Nocturne to play into. Um, so we thought we kind of lost the draft up until this point, but then it felt like they kind of over overdid the idea of countering the Nocturne. Like they all picked champs solely for the reason to counter Nocturne, like Jenna, Xayah, Singe too, I'm assuming. Um, Kind of freed up the rest of us to just pick whatever and do good, I guess. CLT, what are your thoughts?
Oh, bro, this singed. What what the hell? uh,
Okay,
I
hold
mean,
up. I gotta clarify this because we already seen this matchup once. This or is this not a good matchup for Singed? I've heard it is. So I need understanding. How does this matchup work? Because
if it's a good matchup for Singed, it's not a good matchup for Ares is Singed.
okay, but that's fine. But like,
I didn't say anything.
I remember doing this. Improvise did this exact same thing, so that's why I'm asking this question here. Is it a good matchup or is it all just fake news? Like, because now I've seen it twice and the Singed just lost the matchup twice. So I'm
Um,
trying to get clarification here, and we have another top laner here who's playing the Rumble side of things. So I'm trying to hear it out.
I've never played this matchup prior to this game, but it looked kind of free, like in game. And then I played against Toji a few days later because I was like just trying to make sure if like Rumble's actually supposed to win and Ares didn't misplay. And Toji, he lost that one too, and he's a top main. So I don't know if like
I don't. Th-
Maybe it used to be then, like, because there are things where like this used to be a counter, but like these items or this or whatever, like keystones, whatever exists in the game now can make and flip matchups. Because
I
like
think it's Ignite. I think it's Ignite. If I didn't have that, maybe I wouldn't have snowballed. And in previous seasons, people didn't really go Ignite as often.
see, and that's the
that
thing. That's
there's
a big
there's probably a
difference.
lot of truth to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I want to say like there was a time where like for example, um, the Lee Sin Jinzao matchup used to be like pretty good for Lee Sin, but for the last like 5 or 6 seasons now, it's not been good for Lee Sin. He hates the matchup now. It's so garbage. So like,
Why is that?
um, it's just like it's not. Lee Sin hasn't been in a
Right.
good spot, bro. I'm just gonna put it like that. Like
Riot
more
hates
That is
deep
Lisa.
down,
true.
like
They've
they
tried to like
they
jail him out of pro play, or else he would be picked permanently.
yeah, basically, yeah. So
Yep.
I think if you buffed Lee Sin maybe a bit like or just nerf Shin's out again or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll get a better matchup, but I've played Lee Sin my entire existence of this game, and since
Hmm.
like 2020, 2019, something around there, I don't like the matchup anymore. And I actually like will play Lee Sin into literally anything if you let me. Like I'll do it. I'll play into Rex. I'll play into Gragas. I'll fuck it. Let's send it. I'll do it.
Played
I'm
into
not afraid of it. But I know the matchups. Like I know I don't want to pick it into Gragas because that just is making my life harder. Why would I want to make my life harder, right? So
right.
that's all. But that's what I'm saying. So I think matchups do flip based on certain things, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the ignite. Maybe that's all the changes now.
I
Yeah.
I I mean, not a top lane player. I'll throw that out there, disclaimer now. But knowing these two champions and how they want to play the game, just if Singe ever gets an advantage over Rumble, Rumble still has so much innate wave clear that how is he going to get the wave under turret healthy enough to even prep a dive or anything? Or okay, yeah, he can proxy. You think Rumble gives a shit if he proxies? Like, especially with the way the top lane quests are made now, Rumble gets so many levels so quickly that level 11, level 16 ults for Rumble, it's just okay, cool. And
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I kind of get the logic of like, okay, not limit Nocturne's targets and make his life miserable, but you do that with like avoidance and tank stats. Like I think Janna is enough
Yeah,
to
Jenna is enough.
persuade Nocturne. You don't need to double down on a Singe that isn't tanky at all. Like everybody's just like, oh, he's an AP bruiser. He's only an AP bruiser after like 25 minutes when he starts building some tank stats. And even
Yeah.
then, I think Cinch players are dumb enough they don't even build tank stats. They want to keep going like, Rylai's, Leandry's, Roa,
That's
like that,
true.
just that kind of stupid shit. It's like, oh, okay,
I don't know.
whatever.
I play it
But
when I play it in
it's
the jungle. Fun fact:
of
I was
course you'd
playing.
play it in the jungle.
I was building just the first two items you named, and then everything else was tanky. So,
Yeah, like
but oh
I'm
my god, that
all
Shepherd in the jungle is actually a hoot and actually not even bad. It's stupid, bro.
it's
What is Riot done in the
I
jungle?
like yeah, no shit. I just don't like this in at all. I don't know if it just, Ares just sent it and felt comfortable with the matchup, but then disrespected the ignite. And even then, it's just what does Singe do into your guys' comp? He just runs in and gets one shot. I
Yeah,
remember a sequence I think in like the mid game. I don't remember the exact timestamp, but he TP'd down looking for a flank, and the rest of the team just kind of left him. Like the fight was done, and then Arthidius just decided to just drop his balls on him and just one shot him. So it's like,
yeah.
what are you gonna do? I
Another
just
quick thing to add on based on the matchup, I just realized, even when Singe tries to run at you and tries to flip you, Rumble's E kind of like slows him hard enough where he can't do anything, you know?
Yeah.
yeah.
You can just space him out pretty easily.
Yeah, that's the sign of a good rumble. Is how good they can space. 'Cause you swear this champion can't kite. It just runs at you, and then you play a good rumble play, and you're like, I just got space into oblivion. Like I just got completely just dog walked.
Yeah, I like Rumble
So
Yeah.
Jungle. It could be fun. It'd be a good time.
yeah, it's the Janna was enough, and even then, I'm not a great big fan of the Janna here. It's like if you
They
have
keep
a
doing this. They keep doing this. They were getting away with it, and they finally didn't. Why are we picking Jenna with only two AD champions in this game? I won't ever love it. I
I
just won't.
I don't I don't mind Janna as a champion, but I think she's a little more selective than what people think because all of the engaged, like the turbo engaged champs, like Malphite, Nocturne, Vi, you can't really peel them as a single champion. It takes a team to do it, and it's more the coordination of the peel. Like yes, Janna can disrupt them after the all ins, but there's normally follow up that can still blow up a target, or Janna herself can't even kite them off of her.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't. I like Janna. I think she's very underrated, and every time I watch Calico play her, I'm like, I see the value there. But this is probably the one time where I felt like a Milio, a Lulu, even like a Tarek probably
We
gets
thought
a
they were
little
gonna
more.
Milio, by the way. So
Uh,
we're like agreeing on that.
yeah, it's. I think those supports are better at going forward in a fight, which is what Xin Zhao loves.
Yeah. I was gonna say Nami or Lulu would have been fine here too, and I'm gonna be honest. I think Nami or
Yeah,
Lulu with with a Shinj is also pretty good. Like, there's definitely some other options here. I get it. Like, I think Calico's played a great Janna this split. Like, it's not like the Janna's horrible.
I think she's
I
had a
think
great split in general.
yeah, But
Yeah.
this is definitely not the this is definitely not the time for it. I think.
I
And I think when
it,
you
it
as you play against better teams, you get punished more and more for certain things. Like you just gotta be aware. Like you might have got away with it against this team or something, but like at some point, somebody's gonna catch you for drafting something that maybe isn't as optimal. Is what I'll put it. Like you could win with this draft once again, but like you're making your win con for the game always more difficult. And I think that's like it's basically the thing I complain about when I play solo queue. Alright, yeah, you could win playing Nidalee top, bro, but like you provide no CC and this is what your team drafted, so you're making the game harder. Why
wait, you
hand
seen a Italy top win?
I have not. Why handy why handicap yourself is my whole thing. Like and when I say handicap, it's not just you, like your whole team. Why do that when you could just play nice play by Toji, Jesus. That was nasty on the blast cone. Why play why play like stuff like that if it's gonna provide less value than a coconut is gonna provide in a debate about what's the best coconut? you know, like if the coconut was talking, which it can't talk, like that's my point. Like it just seems goofy. So I don't know if I'm going as far to say the Janna's the Nidalee, but it's closer to that than it is to like I don't know a good Syndra pick here. I think the Syndra's a good pick, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think there's just better options draft, better options for the Singed. If you're gonna go Janna, there's better options in the jungle for setup. Like it's a little disoriented. This is a scorched draft they overcooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I agree with CLT. Calico has improved a lot, and we actually like put a lot of respect into her, specifically in the draft. Banned the Seraphine and Zillion, but they did have the opportunity to draft Ori, Zin, and Seraphine B1. Like I feel like we would have gotten cooked if they got the Seraphine there. I don't really think they need to pick Xayah. Like there are other ADCs, or you can even Boonstra plays APCs. You can just pick those and then build Zanya, and Nocturne can't ever ult you. So I feel like they definitely just overcooked, and I don't know, they got scared of the Nocturne and tried to counter him in each lane.
To
Yeah.
be fair, I'd be scared of Akaza's Nocturne too.
I'm okay with countering a jungler or a top laner or whatever, like whatever the pick that's picked early. I'm actually okay with like basically saying no, you're not playing the video game. I actually love that idea because the whole point of a first pick usually, right, or an early pick, is uh to be able to get something that's a power pick, right? Well, even power picks have counters, and you could counter them in the draft. So it makes sense to counter them than in the draft as a team comp to make the power pick less powerful. I'm not saying Nocturne's a power pick here because I don't think Nocturne is a power pick right now, but I do think the idea of taking the wind out of the sails of the pick is great, but then it's again the execution too. And I think like when you're looking over this game, Scorch's execution wasn't on point, whereas your team's execution was. Um, so that's gonna make all the difference at the end of the day. I mean, it's just like the last series when you were talking about the same thing. It's execution is key, and um, even if you handicap yourself in the draft a little bit, it's still a playable draft. This draft was still playable. I don't see any major issues. I just see
Yeah,
things you could fix.
yeah, that's fair enough.
So, was there
Yeah.
anything in particular in the game that kind of stuck out to you? Do you remember? Like, I always ask, when guests come on, like, if there was like a turning point you felt like in the game, or not, because from what I'm seeing right now, the game was not that relatively close. So,
Yeah, I don't think there was really a turning point in this specific game. Uh Support kind of just roamed everywhere for every objective, helped Akaza with whatever he needed to get done, and then I was far enough ahead where I can just like teleport to objectives, sack a few waves, and felt like they couldn't play as a result of that. And then obviously Arthidios popping off, team fights, landing great stuns.
yeah, he's had a really nice split. So definitely not surprised to see him continue to do that. But yeah, it must be nice to just come in there, drop an equalizer on the head, and be like, "All right, guys, I'm out. Have a good day."
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm going back to my island.
I know. Just drop an equalizer, start walking top. My job here is done.
like honestly,
Yep.
literally, like I don't think you had to do that much more than that. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe peek around
I
the corner
agree.
real quick, do some peekaboo action with somebody, and be like, I have a Q too, but just so you know, I can spit on you with the flames. Okay, you don't want to walk up? All right, I'm going top."
Yeah, that's kind of how it went.
So, all
I
right,
mean,
well,
you're 5 levels up on the AD at 23 minutes. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Burn.
sure like a few, like 1 or 2 seconds on the equalizer is just gonna 100-0 any of the squishies at the end.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
Fully stacked Magi's.
peek at
Holy shit.
peek at the end of the game real quick. So, but
Oof.
in the meantime, game two, if you guys want to kind of start off that conversation.
Um, so if you let me give some backstory about my ADC. So after we stomp game one, he always likes to pick like a for fun champ in game two against Incarnate. It was Vagar blind. Um, we kind of knew that was gonna go bad, but he still did it. We let him. And in this game, he kept wanting to play Twitch, and my mid laner was Arthidius was kind of like, "Yo, we'll let you do this once, but if you do bad, you never get to do this for the rest of the split." And he was like, "All right, sure, I'll do it."
Oh, homie was
And also,
motivated.
yeah, another thing is, I don't know why Scorch didn't ban Lux.
Yeah,
I
I
feel like,
mean, you guys have had so much success on the pick. I mean, at this point, I'm gonna be surprised if he gets it in playoffs, except like maybe in like a game four, game five situation where like you kind of just have to let it through, because of you need to ban something else at that point. Um, I'll be surprised. Though I will say this, though you guys have had success on it, it's still very, very susceptible to a lot of the good picks in the meta. I think he's been playing it so well, man. He's been playing it so
yeah,
freaking well.
he's one of the best Luxes on the server. I'm pretty sure.
Him and like Bananas are the only two I can think of that actually play it pretty well. I can't think of anybody else I've seen play it. Is there
Coin
somebody?
Flip had a bot laner. I think Swum was his name that played it
Oh
quite a
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Swum
And
disappeared into the ether. Come back, Swum. I think he's
Damn, the
actually
Lord
back, by
Keeper
the way.
CLT.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the
yeah,
lore.
well, I yeah. Well, I was on the receiving end of one of those lasers, so
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. He
yeah,
remembers
yeah.
the bird. Yeah. Is it just
I
me?
mean, look.
Is it just me, or is Toji just like been the most quiet support in the league? But I low-key feel like he's had like one of the most outstanding splits as support could have. Is it just me? Maybe it's just a me thing.
No, 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 no. Akaza was saying that he feels like the reason why he is able to play so well is because of the way Toji plays around like roam timers and support picks. That's why if you kind of look at almost every game we've played this split, it's like we're technically playing through Toji, even though it looks like it's just jungle, but yeah,
Well,
he's
I,
been
I don't think your
going
team is
crazy.
just jungle, by the way, this split anyways. I think the last split was like that. I think you guys have played phenomenal pretty much across the board. You guys are reminding me a little bit, and this is going to be high praise, by the way. You guys are reminding me a little bit of like an instinct team in the past. Like I don't really currently see a player in your team where I go, target that guy. He's the dude you just make his life hell. He can't keep up if you do. Like I don't feel like there's a player in your team right now that's like that. You have other flaws, don't get me wrong, but it's more team flaws. I feel like individually you guys are on par for where you need to be to compete with anybody in this league. So, and that
Yeah, I
was that
can
was
I can
instinct
agree with that.
before. Like to me, instinct was like that. Like I don't think they had a bad like member. It was just for them it was their temple, right? So for you guys, I don't know if you have that problem because I don't think I've ever seen. Have you guys ever played a full best of five? I don't think you guys have, right?
No, but I think I'll pick like a different champ every game this split.
You might have. I'm sure we could check that statistically, and I'm sure it's possible.
Yeah,
So, um, but your pool is not really what I was even thinking of, anyways. I'm just like I don't know what everybody's pool is, right? I've seen a bit of yours
yeah, yeah.
now, and I know Akaza's pretty deep. Arthurius is the newer member of the team. His pool, from what I've seen, doesn't look as deep currently, but I feel like he's probably got something in the bag.
Yeah, he does.
He's
We're saving it for
I see
playoff.
I see the talent. When I see the talent, I go, he could probably play this and this and this. And then bot lane, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe bot lane, like maybe your 80 carry is missing a few things. I understand the Twitch just popped off, but I mean, like maybe there's some stuff there, but again, like I don't want to say that and be like sound like I'm like coming down on anybody. Um,
No, that's fair.
so
That's fair.
we'll see what the best of fives show us because hopefully this time you guys play them. It's a series and you guys can win the series and move on. So I know you guys have been kind of have the small brains curse the Loki have a good regular season and then enter the playoffs and
It
the
happens every
shenanigans.
time,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Happens
just
every
the
time.
shenanigans get serious. We're not that team anymore though. No, we're now 3-4. So
Yeah, what if it's like the anti-curse? Now you're gonna like pop off in playoffs. I would rather take that.
if I could know that for a fact, then I'd be feeling golden right now. But how can I know that until I'm there? You know what I mean? And I gotta get there, right? I gotta get there. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, enough about that. What's the draft details here, CLT? Because I already know you got stuff to say about draft. You always do.
Um, I mean, I got less to say about this draft in the game one, but I this Maokai is out there. I don't get it at all. I don't know if it's a legacy counter, the Gnar that Ares just decided to bust out, or what, where this just randomly came from, but it's a wild one. Especially the R5 it. You have every virtually everything available.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
outside of Malphite, it's like what
He
you
had that.
have your
He
standard.
had that singed game, and they told him he's playing Maokai.
I I mean, I guess I just Ares. It's I have all the respect in the world for Ares. I think he's a very underrated top laner just because of some of his wackiness. He gets slept on, but he can play tanks well. He can play everything well. I think Scorch is better when they actually don't have like a true dedicated super tank. They can play some bruisers and can share damage and split cooldowns. Generally, because they play a lot of utility, so their effective health is much higher on non-tank champions than most. So Ares playing a true tank champion, it's weird to see, and I don't think it flows as good as if he would have played a Vladimir or a Rise or something like that. Like I think Rise goes like pretty hard here, to be honest.
Hmm.
Um, but I could even see something like hell, maybe like a Gragas or something to disrupt the other team in a sense. Vladimir, because Vladimir with Renata W and then Senna behind him, like rotating heals and shields. You've got Bananasaur coming over the top, and they don't really like Hidden Leaf didn't draft a true tank either, so their access to MR is limited.
Yeah.
I just don't. I, I see it. You want to create space for Banana, for Rusty, and you have like a lot of utility out of their bot lane. Just play Scion, then play something that it gets like tankier earlier.
Yeah.
So that's my whole thing. I don't. Yeah, the again way less of a draft diff than like game one, but this Maokai's just not doing it for me
Aries
personally.
did solo kill our Gojo in the call right now. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. I
Congrats. What
didn't know
what do
he
you
had
get?
Scorch.
What do you get out of it?
I got killed by Scorch by a member of Scorch.
Yeah,
Well, you were too busy scorching them game one, so they had to get you back.
Yeah.
I only bring it up because I'm trying to figure out like okay so maybe it is kind of okay in Dinar then because I don't know otherwise how the hell does Maokai solo kill I don't know it seems
It
kind of
felt
interesting.
it felt pretty good, but I think if I took Conqueror, he would have died like he should have died because I got him really low a few times and then just lacking a little bit of damage. So maybe I should have gone Conquer, but again, I've never played against a
You,
Maokai top, so didn't know like what to expect.
you first time 2 lanes in this series.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
getting the top lane 101 experience,
yeah.
man.
I look at Scion here and I'm like, who tanks this Scion R for Hidden
No,
Leaf?
yeah, no one. I think San would have gone crazy too. He can tank up like everyone, Nafiri, Lux, even Twitch, because Twitch went collector build.
Yeah, it is very interesting, for sure. But I mean, again, drafting is it's an art, and sometimes the art is not on your side because you're drafting interesting.
Fuck. Even
Um,
Orin looks good here. Like,
Good old Orn. But
yeah.
yeah, how did this game go for you guys though? Like let's get our guest kind of talking about it a little more.
Well, we knew Rusty Crow's gonna want to invade, so that's why we went with the Rakan pick. Renata kind of just stays in the lane because that champion isn't really known for roaming. And yeah, Akaza and Toji kind of just walked around the map, stole Rusty Crow's buffs everywhere, did all the objectives, and that's kind of like the story of the game. The rest, I mean, I feel like Arthidius had some really nice combos on Lux this game. Like I'm just browsing through the game right now, and I see so many times when he just lands like crucial roots with the ult. But overall, we kind of just stuck to the initial game plan we had. Um, the Nafiri pick is kind of like weird because you've probably never seen us play this until like the last 2 weeks, but Akazu's just been watching like some Jamaican dude. Um, and yeah, he was just like hyped
I know who
Nafiri.
he's watching by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
I
so
don't remember
he
the
hasn't
name, but I
even
know the
played.
clips. I've seen him too.
Yeah, yeah, it's that guy. So I don't even think he has like 10 games on him. He's just like playing the champ because he watches that dude and it looks cool.
It's fun to play, man. I was mad at myself because I thought when the champ first came out, I'm like, I can't play this champ. It's not a Jake champ. I'm not gonna play this. Man, I end up playing it after the split's over, and I'm like, bro, what is wrong with me? I'm so good at this champion. Why wasn't I playing this shit? I was so mad at
Yeah,
myself.
dude, you should play it. You should play it.
And it's fun too. It's really fun. That W usage could make some cracked moments. I saw one where he had a nice dodge on the Xerath E under the turret, like stuff like that. Man, it feels so nice to
Mhm.
do. It's almost as nice as like
Yeah.
landing a threshold, honestly.
Yeah, the Incarnate series, he also picked it, and that's the one where he went crazy.
Well, I mean, you helped him out being the tankiest Vayne I've ever seen.
Yeah, but some of those fights, like, I mean, I guess you could say that for both of us, but if either of us played like some of those fights differently, like the game could have been lost. And he also had like some Elder Steel, I think, just kind of game winning.
Yeah, yeah, the Elder Steel was fucking cracked.
Yeah, he's been having himself a nice split for sure, without question. Um, but yeah, I mean, is there anything else about this game before we close up at least the this part of the the show?
Um, Not really. I feel like both these games were kind of straightforward. Didn't really meet too much resistance from Scorch's side. But I know like they will focus up, lock in. I just think they should pick more traditional stuff and not try to go for the wonky stuff
Yep.
because it's kind of hard to execute, you know?
I actually have a kickback on that. I think they need to play not wackier stuff, but stuff that they're comfortable with champion wise. Kind of like I mentioned before, I know Ares is like kind of the big poster boy for them for this discussion, but like seeing him on the rise on a Vladimir, this is one of the only teams I've consistently seen play without like a dedicated super tank front line. They don't play traditional front to back comps, anything like that. And I just think when they try to get too standard,
Hmm.
take this game two draft, that's where I think they just don't. It puts more pressure on 2 to 3 members to get that extra bit of damage and play play that extra more efficient, to work collectively as a team. When you have champions like a Vladimir, like a Rise, like a we'll throw Singe into it, even though the performance wasn't great. I've seen him on like stuff like a Zero Top that's just wacky, where it's they make it work. And it's crazy how they make it work, but they're not asking for much damage to come out of their bot lane. Traditionally, they can bring it, but they don't play hyper carries in the bot lane. They don't play engaged tank supports. Again, not that they can't, but their style is utility out of the bot lane, mage, play around Rusty, and Ares can bring you a lot of the late game scaling. So I think that's their bread and butter,
Yeah.
is how I'll phrase it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really good friends with Aries. I know he has like the potential to like take over games by himself. So I don't doubt you with anything you said.
Yeah.
And
Ares is
it's
just
it's
goaded
happened.
on a different
It's
level.
happened this split. Like he's had that type of success, but this
Mhm.
certainly wasn't one of them. You locked him up for this series for sure. But
Yeah, we went to the same university. Like we've been playing against each other for 7, 8 years now. So
so
we know like each other's
yeah,
champion pools.
you should know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
What's the win rate? Who's leading?
Yeah. True. Who's leading?
Um, I don't want to say.
It's because it's me. I'm leading both of them right now. So
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's that's great. Well, hopefully we get another showdown then, so I can really get the storylines going for playoffs and stuff. But
Mm.
but yeah, that's gonna be it for this part of the show, guys. We'll got a few more topics I want to touch on before ending this episode. Got a few more minutes here. Obviously, one of the topics, I'm just gonna reveal them because there wasn't much change. Sorry, I wasn't here last week, so you guys missed out on what was my thoughts on power rankings. Well, really, my only thought was Hidden Leaf is number one. So that was my thought last week, and it's still my thought this week. Nothing has
Oh,
changed.
jinxed them now.
I have jinxed them. Sorry, you guys are better just sitting at number two. Um, but yeah, that's really the big change. And then I moved the raccoons up as well because VIP is no longer playing. I'm gonna keep them on the power rankings because why not? But um, that's why they went down one technically. Everybody else stayed the same. I really thought about this. I don't think Incarnate has like had any truly bad series. They played well this week. Um, they lost one to a really good team, so I don't think them going from the one spot all the way down to like the third or the fourth spot made sense to me. Keep them at the number two, and everybody else kind of plays out as normal. You got Insane Banana Posse sitting there at the 8, Small Brains at the 7, Maple Go at the 6, Scorch at the 5, Femboys at the 4, and Stun Gaming Mythos at the 3. Go Joey, you got any thoughts or opinions on the power rankings?
No, I feel like the top four can take games off of each other on any given day. I feel like all of us are pretty close in skill, I would say. We have like our matchup against Femboys tomorrow actually, so hopefully you guys didn't curse us.
You did come on the show. I think everybody that's come on the show is lost afterwards. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So
Well, if we lose, then it's because of that.
it's
My
because of
team
the
can
curse.
blame me.
Yeah, it's because of the curse. No, I think you guys will be okay. I can't. That's not a stat or anything, but I just think it's what it is. So, but yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you on the top four. I really feel confident when I say this. I almost feel like pretty much anybody in the top seven can almost take a game off each other. A series, I don't know, but a game feels fair.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if everybody can win a series against everybody, if that makes sense. Um, but there's certainly potential there to make things interesting. And maybe some teams will figure it out and kind of get more back on track. You never know what can happen here. There's still 2 more weeks to kind of figure things out before play-ins and then before, of course, playoffs. So um,
Yeah,
there's still a lot of
the
time
next two
to
weeks,
put things
the
together.
next 2 weeks are gonna be very important.
Yeah. So, but for the most part, I think this is probably your top four in playoffs. I honestly think like those are like guaranteed. I always feel like that's what's gonna check out. I could be wrong. And then those other four more than likely will be battling to get in on play-ins. I mean, Insane but not Posse for sure, Small Brains for sure. Mapago, I gotta double check. They might still have a chance at the fourth seed, and of course, Scorch still has a chance. But I I do think that there is a chance that any of the Mapago, Small Brains, Scorch, or I'll throw Mythos and Femboys in there for the fun of it. Any of those teams, if they're playing teams coming into playoffs, can beat teams, for sure. Like they can certainly still beat teams. So, and same in Posse is my only question mark because there's just not enough data, man. If they turn it on and what Rexy said comes to fruition, that they were just messing around, now they're going to take it seriously and become the team that everyone feared, then okay, then they're about to become gods and just run the league. But the first series didn't show that. Maybe that was just them getting the dust off out of the cracks real quick, as they're playing all their main roles consistently. So I'm excited to see what they look like as we enter play-ins. That I will say.
Yeah,
So
same here.
CLT, I mean, you got any takes, or are you feeling the vibe?
No, I mean, you covered all of it. I think these last 2 weeks, if the top four teams play each other, maybe a play-in team kind of sneak into that top four. But you got a lot of big matchups coming up. I mean, Scorch has Incarnate. Hidden Leaf has Femboys. You guys have got Mapago. So like this week 8 is filled with a lot of big matchups, and even week 9. I mean, Scorch versus Femboys, Leaf versus Mapago, Small Brains versus Mythos. Like this can shake up real quickly. But I do agree with the power rankings, and ultimately I think the top 3 teams for sure I think are favored against everybody else but themselves. But everybody from Small Brains up can take a map and even come in with like a couple of good drafts and sneak out a series. But yeah, those 2 stun teams and Hidden Leaf are my favorites going into playoffs so far.
Yeah, that happened to us last split. We were ranked 1 going into playoffs, and then we kind of just got 3-0'd by coin flip, the team that we beat pretty easily in the regular season. So anything can happen.
Did not. So I'm down with this.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
You said 2 out of 3 of my names.
yeah. Same.
Uh, I think,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make it
yeah,
interesting.
I can see that. Uh, I've got 3. I go Lysander. I think has been absolutely standout, and he's played so many like different styles of champions too. I've seen him style on Azir, and the next game play the Silas. He's busted out, I think, a Yasuo game. So I really do like what Lysander's brought. Um, Nexus, you pointed out, I agree with everything. I think he's having a really good split, and I think he's having a split that's different than his other splits playstyle wise. He's always been known as more of like the fighting, brawling type skirmishing support. Obviously loves his bard, but played a lot of um like Alistars, Leonas, engage supports where this split, the Seraphine, you've got to ban him out. Obviously, you still got to ban out his Bard, but he's played a few other like range and utility supports. So I think he's had a really nice split on a much different play style. And then I don't disagree with you just said his name, but your guys' support on Hidden Leaf. But I mean, Akaza is just he's still Akaza. Like I do think you guys are playing around him more and enabling him, but how he's been able to play some of these very greedy picks, Nefiri being kind of the main one, but he's had a Kha'Zix game or two in there, the Nocturne game. Like he's been a lot, I think, greedier in draft, and I think you guys have played around that and enabled it well. So I really still like love Akaza. But the support play alongside him, you guys have played like you guys somehow finishing third place last split, I would almost argue is the most improved team coming into the split.
Appreciate it. Um, yeah, I think a big reason to why we improved was we brought in Arthidius. We were using a plat top laner before, who wasn't really comfortable with top. I was also auto-filled mid, so now we kind of like got the roles a little bit better. So that's why I guess we look more in form.
Fair. That's fair.
It definitely, yeah, I can see that for sure.
Okay. Um, I don't want to just like repeat the names that you guys did. So obviously the people who I have on my list, like I had them before, but Nexus was one of my picks. But since you both said him, I'm gonna choose someone else. But anyways, this is my list. I think even though he's from my team, um, I have to say Akaza because even like if you look at it from an unbiased perspective, game one against Small Brains, we lose if he doesn't clutch up, deals Elder there. Game two against what was it, Incarnate, he was like 12 and 3 on Zahen when everyone else, like the whole rest of us were just feeding and he was like he kept us in that game for like 40 minutes just by himself. And then game three, it was just like a Nafiri highlight reel. And he isn't even like that comfortable on the champ. So I feel like his ability to just bring back games and make it hard for the enemy to win, even though like they're trying so hard, is kind of why I have him as an MVP because it's just like a cheat code if you have him on your team you can come back from completely unwinnable games. And obviously, he's supported by Toji and the rest of us, which facilitate him. But I feel like he kind of the trust that you put into him, he never fails to like prove why you have to keep giving him that trust. If that makes sense. Number two, I actually have my co-host on the show, Jay Moostis. I think he's been having an absolute phenomenal split. Yes, they haven't won a lot of the games they should have, but I've been watching pretty much every single game and he's played really well. We talked as a team, my team, and almost all of us agree that he's been playing insanely well. Yes, you guys started 3 and 0 and then you had like a downfall, but all of those games. Game one against us, you were like 11-0 something on J4. Literally could have ended that. You had all the objectives. Um, there was the game against Scorch. All of them, I felt like you were doing good. You always know like what you need to do for your team, and you execute that plan almost to perfection. Like I know I'm glazing you, but I feel like it's not fake glaze. I genuinely think you play around your win conditions like really well. And that's something that my team has been practicing and trying to learn from you, you know? And obviously this game against Femboys, even the Femboys players showering you with respect. So that's just a testament to how great of a split you've been having. And I know like it's gone under the radar a little bit, but just wanted to bring that up. And um I guess for my third pick, I have Rexy. That team, they've had Astros swapping out with Zoro a lot, and then Seko had to lane swap because the top laner left. But I feel like he's kind of been the rock for that team, and if you watch him play, he's insane. Like some of those Nico plays, they're crazy, man.
Yeah.
Have
No, for
huge
sure.
respect for him.
Yeah. You guys are gonna laugh at me because I did it again, by the way. So I'm just gonna repeat my picks real quick. But I have Arthidius, Toji, Nexus, Lysander, and Inferno, guys. I don't know what is with me. Every time somebody tries to text me while I'm doing the show, I just should not answer them. I don't know why I do.
Mm.
Yeah, it's only a few minutes, but you know, sorry, my bad. But those are my five there, and I think one thing we all have to agree on. It sounds like Nexus might just be the guy because if we were doing voting right now, we are doing it based just on points. Like he'd be getting points from us every time, you know. So maybe Nexus is the guy, is the go. We'll see how things finish out for him. But I also want to say thanks, a lot for the praise, man. I mean, it means a lot, and I really appreciate it. You talking just now. If I had my cam on, um, uh, you guys would laugh at me, but I got a little teary eyed. So, um, the stuff you said really had a profound impact on me. So I thank you for that. But yeah, other than that, I think it's been a good show, a good episode. Maybe I'll crop myself in or something for the little bit that I messed up again. I don't know. I need to change my keys up or something. But but yeah, man. Thanks for coming on the show, bro. It was great having you on, and I think you're the first Hidden Leaf member on the show, right? I don't think we've ever
Yeah,
had.
I think so.
Uh,
It was a
that's
pleasure being here. Thanks for having me, guys. It's fun.
CLT. Any final thoughts?
No, no. I think this has been a great split, and I'm just super excited to see this week and next week's action because with these top like 6 teams, you mentioned that anybody can kind of beat anybody. You're gonna see that this coming week.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
Leaf versus
gonna be a fun week.
Femboys. I mean, Leaf has to end with Femboys and Mapago after Scorch, so it's like
Uh,
they've got an end of a split. Everybody's got a tough schedule this the end of split. So
I mean, I feel like every week just feels like a tough matchup, regardless. But if you want to talk about strength the schedule, if you really want to have that conversation, I can tell you about strength the schedule, buddy.
oh,
Go
I
ahead,
know.
dude. Go ahead.
My first three were the opposite of what my next six were. So you want to talk about strength of schedule? It's kind of comical, actually. There's no breaks in between our series. Just heavy hitter after heavy hitter after heavy hitter. It's been
Yeah,
crazy.
you got a tough road, that's for sure.
I mean, it's fine. Everybody plays everybody. It's just in the sequence you play them. It sometimes does affect things. I have one question before I turn this thing off, and I guess you guys can answer in the comments too on this. Should play-ins count for MVP voting and All Star voting? Maybe not All Star, maybe MVP. The reason why I asked this question, like, think about this for a second. It's not playoffs, so it's not for like anything to do with playoffs. It's technically its own thing, and it is to get into playoffs. And the whole point of the regular season is to get into playoffs. So, should play-ins count, or do we think play-ins are just its own thing entirely? Should not count at all.
Um,
I It's up to perspective. I count play-ins as part of playoffs, so I'd say no.
yeah, I would probably say no because the other team, it's not fair to the other teams because they
That's
didn't get a chance to display like they didn't get additional chances to display like good performance.
Yeah. So how do you vote then? Like, if you're a voter and you're like thinking, I want to make sure
Hmm.
I'm voting a player for MVP that is in playoffs, because the whole point of the MVP is also your team made playoffs too. That's a part of the conversation. So how do you vote that then? Because then there's four teams that technically still haven't made playoffs. Do you just ignore all four of those teams now for the MVP conversation? Because you
Definitely
see what I'm
not. Definitely not. Yeah.
that's why it's hard. So that's my question. So maybe here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll do. I think we might not have we might open MVP voting right after play-ins finish just for this reason. And I think if you're watching this show, I think it's important. If we're not going to count them, that's fine. I'm actually cool with that. But I think the six teams you vote for realistically more or less should be the six teams that made playoffs, right? So now you'll know what teams made playoffs. So when you go to vote, you'll be like, well, this player was in play-ins, but they made playoffs. I like this player. Vote this player or whatever. Because I mean, there are some MVP candidates that might be playing in play-ins here.
Yeah, yeah. Like we had Bananasaur and then you, Nexus. A lot of the choices are actually going to be in there, and I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mentioned
the
Banana Sport
upcoming
too.
week.
I forgot I mentioned. I was another one of my picks, guys. I forgot I mentioned him too. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, continue. Yeah, sorry.
Now I was just going to say like a lot of these picks are going to be in the play-in, so I'm open to, making it so that play-ins count because what if we pick an MVP and then they're not even in playoffs? Would suck
Yeah,
to see that.
is that a fake MVP then? I mean, I don't know if it would be because I mean, at the end of the day, like they obviously performed well enough for people to consider them that good. You know, so
You just want to open up like a poll and vote for it?
yeah, I feel like we should totally do that. So I'll probably do
Yeah,
that in
let's
the
just do
server
that.
at some point. Yeah, me or COT will open it up. But all right, I'm gonna end the episode. We're almost at the 2 hour mark, or we just did hit the 2 hour mark. So thank you everybody for watching the show as always. Thank you to my two co-hosts today, specifically my special guest, Gojo out here doing God's work, helping us out. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, so we will see you guys on the next episode, and hopefully I will have good news from my side of things. I'll be able to talk about a win for once. But all right, have a good rest of your day. Thanks.
Take care, man.